I'm home. My voice echoed into the living room like a stranger's. Emily didn't look up from her phone. Dinner's in the fridge. I ate already. I dropped my bag by the door. You couldn't wait? I was hungry, she muttered, scrolling. You used to wait. That was before, she said flatly. Before what? I asked. She sighed. Before you started acting like this. Like what? Clingy, suspicious, annoying. My chest tightened. I just want to talk to my wife. Well, I don't feel like talking. I swallowed hard. Who are you texting? A coworker, she snapped. Stop asking. Can't I even ask? Not if it's the same question every night. Silence filled the room. I sat at the table, staring at her. Do you even notice me anymore? Her eyes flicked up. What's that supposed to mean? It means I come home and it feels like I don't exist. Don't be dramatic, she muttered, heading to the bedroom. I followed. The envelope on her nightstand glared at me. She still hadn't touched it. You see that? I asked. What? She slipped off her shoes. The papers. She gave them a passing glance. I've been busy. Too busy to notice your husband filed for divorce? Her head jerked up. You can't be serious. It's been sitting there for weeks, she scoffed. So what? You expect me to drop everything because you're throwing a tantrum? I laughed bitterly. A tantrum? That's what you think this is? What else am I supposed to think? You used to care, I said softly. She crossed her arms. People change. No, you changed. And you didn't? She shot back. You used to be fun. Now all you do is sulk. I sulk because I live with a stranger. Her jaw clenched. Then maybe you should leave. Maybe I already did, I whispered, nodding at the envelope. Her face twisted, but she stayed quiet. I sat on the edge of the bed. Do you even know the last time you told me you loved me? Does it matter? She asked coldly. It matters to me. She turned her back. Then maybe that's the problem. Her words cut deeper than shouting ever could. You check your phone more than you look at me. She rolled her eyes. Don't start with jealousy. Jealousy? I shook my head. It's not jealousy when your wife locks her phone like it's a vault. You're paranoid. I'm ignored, I corrected. Her shoulders stiffened, but she said nothing. I let out a shaky breath. Do you even want this marriage? Right now, she said, pulling the blanket over her. No, the final nail. I stared at her, hoping for regret, for anything that proved she still cared. But her breathing slowed, like she was already asleep. I looked back at the envelope, its silence louder than her indifference. I filed quietly. I whispered to myself, because even leaving didn't matter to her. I reached out, touched the corner of the paper, and let my hand fall. The room was dark, but I felt emptier than the night itself. And for the first time, I admitted the truth. I wasn't a husband anymore. I was invisible. The envelope lay on the counter when I came home, bright gold lettering shining like it had something to celebrate. What's this? I asked, holding it up. Emily didn't even look up from her phone. Invitation. To what? My brother's wedding. I froze. Daniel's getting married? She sighed, annoyed. Obviously. You're holding the card. You didn't think to tell me yourself? I figured you'd find out. I stared at her. I used to be closer to your family than you were, and you didn't even... Stop overreacting, she cut in. It's just a wedding. Just a wedding? My voice cracked. Do you hear yourself? She shrugged, scrolling again. Are you going or not? You really don't care, do you? Don't make this dramatic. I pressed the card flat against the table. Daniel once called me his big brother, and now I'm finding out like some stranger in the mail? Emily finally looked at me. Do you want me to beg you to come? Fine. Please come. Happy? Happy? I laughed bitterly. That's a word I don't remember anymore. Her eyes narrowed. If you're going to sulk, don't go. Maybe I shouldn't. Then don't. The air between us turned sharp. I shoved the card back into the envelope and left it on the counter. Later that night, my phone rang. Her mother's voice, warm and cheerful. "Saeed, sweetheart, you got the invitation, right?" "Yes, Mrs. Thompson." "Oh, good. We're so excited. It wouldn't feel right without you there." I hesitated. Emily didn't even mention it. A pause. "Oh, she's been busy. You know how weddings are. But you'll come, won't you?" I rubbed my forehead. "I don't know if I should." "Don't be silly. Daniel still talks about you all the time. Your family." Family. The word cut deeper than the gold letters on the card. "I'll think about it," I said quietly. "Think fast, dear. We already set your place at the table." When the call ended, I sat there staring at the envelope again. Emily walked in. "Who was that?" "Your mother." Her brows knit. "Why is she calling you?" "Because she still thinks I belong." "That's her mistake." I clenched my jaw. "Mistake? Or truth you don't want to face?" She scoffed. "Don't twist this." "I don't have to twist anything. You twisted us long before this." She crossed her arms. "So what now? You're going to go and make a scene?" "No," I said firmly. "If I go, I'll sit quietly. But maybe they should see who you really are." Her eyes hardened. "Don't you dare!" "Why not? You don't love me. You don't even care enough to open divorce papers. Why should I protect you?" "Because it'll make you look pathetic," she hissed. I laughed, hollow. "I already look pathetic." "That's the point, isn't it?" She turned away, muttering, "You're impossible." Maybe I was. But I couldn't shake the thought. Part of me wanted to vanish, to avoid the humiliation. Another part wanted her entire family to see the truth. See, the woman they thought was perfect. The wife who turned me invisible. The card still gleamed under the kitchen light. I whispered to myself, do I go for them or do I go for me? No answer came, just silence, and the weight of a decision I couldn't escape. "Did you eat?" I asked, standing in the doorway. Emily didn't glance up. "Yeah. You didn't save me anything?" "There's bread. Bread isn't dinner." "It's food," she muttered. I sat across from her. "We used to eat together." She rolled her eyes. "Stop living in the past. The past is all I have left." "That's your problem, not mine." Her words landed like knives. I leaned back, staring at the woman who used to laugh with me over burnt pasta. "Do you even notice me anymore?" I whispered. She didn't answer, just tapped her screen harder. "Emily." "What? Talk to me." "I am talking." "No, you're dismissing me. There's a difference." She set her phone down with a snap. "What do you want me to say? That I'm tired? That I don't care about small talk after work?" "Then say that. At least it's honest." She crossed her arms. "Fine. I'm tired. Happy? No. But it's better than silence." Her jaw clenched. "You always want something. I can't breathe in this house without you demanding attention." "I don't want attention. I want my wife. Maybe she doesn't exist anymore." The words burned, but I didn't let her see. "Then who am I living with?" "A roommate," she said coldly. "That's what you make me feel like." I froze. "Funny. That's exactly how you treat me." She stood abruptly. "I'm done with this conversation." I followed her down the hall. "That's the problem. You're always done. With me, with us, with everything that used to matter." She slammed the bedroom door. I stood outside, heart pounding. Through the wood, I asked, "Do you even see the papers?" Her muffled reply came sharp. "I'll deal with them when I feel like it." It's been weeks. "So? What's your rush?" "My rush is that I'm already gone. You just don't care enough to notice." The door stayed closed. Later that night, I lay beside her. She scrolled her phone, the light reflecting on her face. I turned toward the ceiling. "Do you remember when we used to talk until we fell asleep?" I asked quietly. She didn't respond. "Do you remember laughing in the dark, whispering about stupid dreams?" Still silence. "Do you remember loving me?" Her screen lit up brighter. I closed my eyes. Loneliness pressed against me like a second blanket, suffocating. I whispered into the dark. When did love become silence? She didn't hear me. Or maybe she did and chose not to answer. Either way, I was alone in my own bed, and worse, I realized I had been for a very long time. The house was quiet except for Emily's voice drifting from the bedroom. I froze at the door, listening. Her tone was soft, gentle, almost playful. Something I hadn't heard in years. Yes. I miss you too, she whispered. My stomach twisted. You always know how to make me smile. I gripped the frame so hard my knuckles ached. When can I see you again? She asked, her laugh low and warm, the kind of laugh she never gave me anymore. Tomorrow? I'll make something up. He won't notice. My chest burned. I know. I love you. The words sliced through me. She ended the call. I stepped inside. Who was that? She spun around, eyes wide for a second before narrowing. Why are you eavesdropping? Who were you talking to? A friend. That didn't sound like a friend. You always assume the worst. I heard you, Emily. My voice cracked. I heard every word. Her lips pressed tight. You're paranoid. Paranoid? I laughed bitterly. Do friends tell each other I love you in the dark while their husbands sit in the next room? You don't understand. Then explain it to me. Her silence stabbed deeper than words. Emily. She looked away. It's not what you think. It's exactly what I think. You're twisting this. No, I whispered. You twisted us a long time ago. She crossed her arms. So what if I talk to someone else? You barely notice me. I begged you to. Notice me. You begged for pity. The bitterness in her tone knocked the air out of me. Pity? That's what my love was to you? She met my eyes, cold. I don't love you anymore. The words hit harder than the call. I staggered back, breath heavy. When did you decide? That? When you stopped being the man I married? I clenched my fists. Or when you found someone new? She didn't deny it. That silence told me everything. Who is he? It doesn't matter. It matters to me, I shouted. Her eyes flared. Why? So you can measure yourself against him? So you can feel smaller than you already do? I swallowed, choking on rage and heartbreak. I just want to know when I lost you. She shook her head. You never had me the way you thought. I staggered back. You said I was the only one you'd ever love. I said that when I believed it. I pressed a hand to my chest, trying to breathe. So I was a fool. You're making this harder than it has to be. Harder? My voice rose. You tore us apart and I'm the one making it hard? You're clinging to something dead. I'm clinging to vows, I hissed. Do you even remember them? They were words. People change. Not like this. She shrugged, cold and careless. I whispered, betrayal tastes worse than poison. At least poison kills you quickly. She turned her face away. I laughed without humor. Do you know what's funny? I thought karma would come for me. Turns out it came wearing your face. Her lips trembled, but she stayed silent. I pointed at the untouched envelope on the nightstand. Those papers were mercy. Quiet, simple, painless. You didn't even open them. I didn't want to face it. You didn't want to face me, I corrected. She sat on the edge of the bed, shoulders slumped. Maybe you're right. Maybe? She whispered. I don't know who I am anymore. Then why destroy me in the process? Her voice broke. Because I was lonely too. I stared at her, stunned. Lonely? While I was begging for your attention? Yes. I shook my head. No, you weren't lonely. You were greedy. Her tears welled, but they didn't move me. I loved you, I said quietly. I loved you so much I killed parts of myself just to keep you happy. And you threw it away for a secret smile on the phone. I'm sorry, she whispered. No, you're not. You're sorry I caught you. She flinched. I turned toward the door. You'll regret this, Emily. Maybe not tonight, maybe not tomorrow. But one day you'll wake up and realize what you lost. Her voice cracked. And what will you do? I glanced back, my chest hollow. I'll survive. That's more than you can say. The room spun with silence. I walked out, the taste of betrayal choking me with every step. The house buzzed with laughter when I walked in. Daniel clapped my back. There he is. Glad you came, man. I forced a smile. Wouldn't miss it. Emily stood across the room, glass in hand. She didn't look at me once. Her mother hugged me tight. Saeed, you look thinner. Are you eating enough? Yes, Mrs. Thompson, I said. Good. You always work too hard. Daniel's fiancée, Claire, leaned in. We're happy you're here, Daniel insisted. Daniel grinned. Of course. He's family. The words stung. I sat at the long table. Jokes flew, stories circled, and everyone laughed. I chewed slowly, pretending to join in. Emily's laughter rang, bright and sharp, but never once directed my way. Daniel raised his glass. To new beginnings. Everyone echoed him. I stayed, silent, Claire noticed. Saeed, you okay? Just tired, I lied. Emily's eyes flicked toward me, then away. Her mother asked, Work keeping you busy? Something like that. Daniel leaned over. You don't look like yourself. I forced a smile. I'm fine. He lowered his voice. You sure? Yes. You look tired. Are you okay? The words pierced me. I wanted to shout, No, I'm not okay. Your sister broke me. Instead, I smiled weakly. I'll survive. He studied me. If you ever need me, you know I'm here. I nodded. Thanks, Daniel. Back at the table, laughter roared again. I watched them, feeling like a ghost. Their warmth surrounded me, but none of it touched me. Claire asked, Remember the trip we all took to the lake? You were the one who lit the fire, right? Yeah, I said softly. That was me. Emily cut in quickly. That was ages ago. Claire smiled. Still, it was fun. Emily didn't respond. Her mother leaned closer. You seem quiet tonight, Saeed. I guess I don't know what to say. You always had plenty to say before, she said gently. Daniel raised a brow. He's just tired. I nodded, clutching my glass. Exactly. The rest of dinner blurred. Plates clinked, stories passed, but I barely tasted the food. My chair felt like a cage. At one point, Daniel caught my eye again. His lips mouthed, You okay? I nodded, but inside I screamed. I wanted to tell them all the truth, that Emily, the perfect daughter, the perfect sister, had burned me alive in silence and betrayal. But I stayed still, because the truth would ruin their night. Because the truth would make me look like the fool I already felt. When dessert came, Emily excused herself. She didn't say a word to me. Claire asked, Are you excited for the wedding, Saeed? I forced a smile. Of course. Daniel squeezed my shoulder. Means a lot you're here. Yeah, I whispered. It means a lot to me, too. The laughter swelled again, but it sounded distant, like echoes from another life. I sat at a table surrounded by family, and I had never felt more alone. The house was dark when we got back from the gathering. I shut the door quietly, but my chest was loud, pounding like a drum. Emily tossed her heels by the wall, grabbed a glass of water, and walked straight toward the bedroom without a glance at me. I followed. We need to talk. She didn't slow. Not tonight. Tonight, I insisted. She sighed, slipping off her earrings. What now? The man. Her hands froze mid-air. I stepped closer. Who is he? She kept her eyes on the dresser. Mirror. I don't know what you're talking about. Stop lying. My voice was low, steady. I heard you. I heard the calls. I heard you tell him you loved him. Her jaw tightened, but she didn't answer. That's silence, I said. That's all the confession I need. She sat on the edge of the bed. So what if there is someone else? You don't own me. I clenched my fists. I never wanted to own you. I wanted to love you. She looked at me coldly. Love? You call this love? You're always watching, always accusing. Because I'm living with a stranger who pretends I don't exist. Her voice rose. You made me this way. I laughed, bitterly. No. I begged for scraps, and you fed them to someone else. Her face flickered with guilt, but she masked it quickly. I reached into my jacket and pulled out the envelope. The papers. The weight of every sleepless night. I placed them on the bed between us. She stared at them as though they were written in another language. What is this? You know what it is. Her fingers trembled when she touched the edge. Since when? I met her eyes. Since the day you stopped seeing me. She flinched. Don't say that. It's the truth. She shook her head. You should have told me. We could have what? Pretended longer? Lied better? Played house while you whispered I love you to someone else? Her face crumbled, tears pressing at her lashes. I didn't mean for it to happen. You didn't mean for me to find out, I corrected. She buried her face in her hands. I was lonely. So was I said, my voice breaking. But I didn't betray you. She looked up, eyes red. Do you hate me? I hesitated. No. Hate would mean I still cared enough to burn. Her lip trembled. Then what do you feel? Nothing. I paused. And that scares me more than anything. Her shoulders shook. You're really going to leave me? I already did. You just never noticed. She reached out, her hand hovering in the air. Please, don't do this. I stepped back. Don't beg now. You should have begged for us when there was something left to save. Her tears spilled. I was stupid. Yes, I whispered. And I was a fool for thinking you were mine. Silence swallowed the room. Finally, she whispered. What happens now? You sign them. And if I don't? Then nothing changes. You'll keep living like I don't exist. And one day, I'll be gone, and you won't even notice. Until it's too late. She shook her head violently. I'll notice. I notice now. No, I said. Now you regret being caught. Her sobs filled the air, but I felt nothing. I turned toward the door. She called after me, voice breaking. Please don't leave me alone. I stopped, my back to her. You left me alone a long time ago. The papers lay between us like a grave marker. Without another word, I walked out, leaving her to face the silence she had created. The church smelled of flowers and polished wood, but all I noticed were the eyes. Dozens of them, watching me as if I didn't belong. Daniel clasped my shoulder before heading to the altar. I'm glad you came, brother. I forced a smile. Wouldn't miss it. Emily slipped into a pew across the aisle. She didn't meet my eyes. Her smile was painted on, brittle. Her hands twisted the program in her lap until it tore at the corner. The music swelled. Claire walked in, radiant, her dress catching the light. Everyone gasped in awe. I clapped politely, but my chest was heavy. I caught Emily glancing at me, just once, then quickly away. The vows began. Daniel's voice steady, Claire's trembling with joy. I promise to love you, honor you, and stay faithful to you. The word faithful slammed into me like a hammer. My breath hitched. Something cracked inside, something final. It wasn't just my marriage breaking. It was me. I whispered under my breath. So that's what it was supposed to sound like. A bridesmaid beside Emily leaned toward another, her whisper sharper than she realized. Faithful. Unlike Emily. The second bridesmaid gasped, "Shh," but it was too late. The words carried, heads turned, murmurs spread like fire catching dry grass. Emily stiffened, her face pale. Her mother frowned. What did she say? Daniel's eyes flicked from the altar to his sister. What's going on? The priest hesitated mid-sentence. Emily shot up. Stop it. This isn't the time. The first bridesmaid stammered. I didn't mean... Daniel's voice boomed. Emily, is this true? Silence thickened the air. I closed my eyes. There it is. The storm. Emily's lips parted. No words coming. Finally, she whispered. I don't... Her mother stood, trembling. Tell me this isn't true, Emily. Emily's voice cracked. It was a mistake. Gasps erupted across the pews. Claire clutched Daniel's arm. What does she mean? Daniel's face turned red. A mistake? You cheated? Emily's eyes darted to me, desperate. It's not what you think. I stayed silent, watching the family unravel. Her father's voice was low, dangerous. Who? No one, Emily pleaded. It doesn't matter. It matters, Daniel roared. You ruined my wedding with your lies. Her tears spilled. Please, I didn't mean for it to come out like this. Her mother shook her head, stunned. How could you, Emily? How could you betray him? Betray us? All eyes shifted to me. Pity filled them now, heavy and suffocating. Daniel turned to me, fists clenched. You knew? I swallowed. Yes. Why didn't you say anything? Because it wasn't my place to destroy your day, Emily sobbed. Stop! Stop looking at me like this, her father's voice thundered. You've shamed this family. I didn't mean to, she choked. I finally spoke, my voice cutting. Through. She didn't mean for you to find out. That's the only mistake she regrets. Emily's head snapped toward me. That's not true. It's the only truth left, I said. The reception after the ceremony was colder than ice. Conversations hushed whenever Emily walked by. Claire avoided her completely. Daniel wouldn't even look at her. At the table, Mrs. Thompson dabbed her eyes. Saeed, I don't know what to say to you, I whispered. There's nothing left to say. Daniel pulled me aside, jaw tight. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Would it have changed anything? Yes, he snapped. I wouldn't be blindsided like this. I wanted to protect you, I admitted. I thought I could survive it alone. He shook his head, furious and hurt. You should have trusted me. Maybe I didn't even trust myself. He walked, away, shoulders stiff. Emily approached me later, eyes swollen. Please don't let them hate me. You did that yourself. Her voice cracked. I still love you. I laughed bitterly. Love? You buried it with every lie. She grabbed my arm. Don't leave me like this, I pulled free. I already left, you just noticed too late. Her tears blurred as she whispered, I never thought you'd actually stop loving me. And I never thought you'd make me invisible. Her mother called her name sharply. Emily turned, torn between me and them. I stepped back into the crowd, into the cold stairs, into the storm she had summoned. She searched for me across the room, eyes pleading, but I didn't move. For once, I let her drown in the silence she had created. The reception hall was buzzing like a hive turned on its head. Voices overlapped, whispers darted between tables, and every glance found its way to Emily. Daniel slammed his glass down. Tell me the truth, Emily. Right here. Right now. She flinched. Daniel, please, don't you dare beg me. You ruined my wedding with your filth. Her mother's hand trembled on the table. Emily, say it isn't true. Tell us it's a lie. Emily's voice cracked. It just happened. I didn't mean to. Didn't mean, her father thundered. Cheating isn't an accident. I was lonely, she whispered. Daniel roared. You had a husband sitting right there. Don't you dare use loneliness as an excuse. Her mother's eyes filled with tears. You broke him, Emily. Look at him. Every head turned toward me. I sat quietly, staring at the untouched drink in my hand. For once, I didn't feel invisible. Emily's voice shook. Saeed, tell them I'm not a monster. I lifted my eyes slowly. You want me to lie for you? After all your lies? She staggered back as though struck. I didn't mean to hurt you. You didn't mean for me to find out, I said flatly. Her mother covered her mouth, sobbing. How could you do this to your marriage, to us? Emily reached for her hand, but Mrs. Thompson pulled away. Don't touch me. Daniel stepped forward, rage boiling in his eyes. Who is he? Tell me his name! Emily's lips trembled. It doesn't matter. It matters to me, Daniel snapped. You humiliated our family. Claire, still in her gown, whispered to him. Daniel, maybe not here. No. Daniel barked. Everyone deserves to hear it. My sister thinks vows are a joke. My best friend sat in silence while she destroyed him. All eyes burned into Emily. She looked smaller than I'd ever seen her. She whispered, I made a mistake. Call it what it is, I said coldly. Betrayal. Her face crumpled. Please stop. Daniel jabbed a finger toward me. He kept quiet to protect us. You hid it to protect yourself. Emily shook her head. I didn't want to lose everything. You already did, her father spat. The whispers grew louder, circling her like vultures. Selfish, liar, unfaithful. I didn't gloat, but deep inside, something in me felt lighter. For once, I wasn't the fool in the shadows. She was. Emily's voice cracked, desperate. Saeed, please, say something. Defend me. I leaned back in my chair. You want me to save you? Where? Were you when I begged for scraps of love? Her eyes glistened. I was lost. No, I said. You were busy finding someone else. Her mother whispered, God help us. Daniel slammed the table again. I don't want her near Claire, not today, not ever. Claire touched his arm, trying to calm him. Daniel, she's still your sister. Not anymore, he growled. Emily gasped. You can't mean that. You chose your affair over us, Daniel spat. You're not my sister. Emily's knees buckled and she sank into a chair. For the first time, she was the one being ignored, invisible in the storm I created, she whispered. I just wanted to feel loved again. I laughed bitterly. You killed the love you had, then went searching for another. Her tears spilled. Why are you so cruel? Cruel? I leaned forward. Cruel is leaving your husband invisible for years. Cruel is making vows while planning excuses. Cruel is what you did, not what I'm doing now. The room fell silent. Her father spoke at last, voice heavy. Emily, you've shamed us. You've shamed yourself. And worst of all, you shamed the man who stood by you longer than you deserved. She sobbed openly now, but no one comforted her. Not even me. Daniel turned to me, eyes softer. I'm sorry, brother. I shook my head. Don't apologize. For her choices. His jaw tightened. Still, I should have seen it. No one saw it, I said quietly. That's how she wanted it. Emily cried harder. Please don't hate me. Her mother whispered. I don't even know you anymore. Emily reached for me again. Saeed! I stood slowly. No, don't say my name like it still belongs to you. Her sobs filled the hall. But for once, it wasn't me drowning in them. I stepped aside, leaving her to face the wrath of her family, the whispers of strangers, the silence of people who once adored her. And for the first time in years, I felt seen. Karma had come quicker than I ever expected. The hall was nearly empty when she found me. Guests had scattered into corners, whispers trailing like smoke. "Saeed," Emily's voice cracked, raw from crying. "Please, can we talk? Just us." I hesitated, then nodded once. We stepped into a side room, quiet except for the muffled music from the reception. She closed the door behind us. I never wanted it to end like this. I kept my hands in my pockets. But it did. Her eyes shimmered. I was lost. "No," I said flatly. "You were unfaithful." She flinched. "I didn't mean to hurt you. You didn't mean for me to find out." Her tears fell. "I swear it wasn't about love. I felt empty. You felt empty while I was right there begging you to see me." She stepped closer. "I see you now." I laughed bitterly. "Now? After the lies spilled out in front of your family?" Her voice shook. "I regret it." "You regret being caught," I corrected. She gripped my arm. "I regret betraying you. Please, believe me." I pulled free. "Belief died the moment I heard you whisper, 'I love you' to someone else." She sobbed. "Don't say that. Don't throw everything away. You threw it first. I can fix it." "No," I whispered. "You can't fix ashes." She shook her head. "We can start over." "Start over?" My voice was low, calm. "Do you even realize how absurd that sounds? Start over with what? Lies as a foundation?" Her lip trembled. "With honesty this time. You had your chance at honesty. You chose silence." Her knees bent as she sank onto a chair. "I still love you." I stared at her, hollow. "You loved me enough to share our vows with another man?" Her cries deepened. I was stupid. "Yes," I said, "but stupidity doesn't erase betrayal." She buried her face in her hands. "Please, Saeed, one more chance." My chest tightened, old memories clawing at me, the nights we laughed in bed, the mornings she kissed me half asleep, the promise she once made that I was her forever. But forever had ended. I whispered, "I loved you once." She looked up, hope flickering. "Then love me again." I shook my head slowly. "The man who loved you is gone." Her mouth opened, then closed, as if the words themselves stole her breath. I stood, steady this time. "I survived the silence. I'll survive this." Her sobs echoed against the walls. "Don't leave me like this. You left me long before tonight." She reached for me, desperation in every line of her face. "I'll change. I'll be better. I'll do anything." I paused at the door. "You should have done that before you destroyed us." Her voice broke into pieces. "Please, don't go." I turned the handle. "Goodbye, Emily." The door creaked open, the sounds of muffled chatter rushing back in. Behind me, she collapsed in sobs, her cries hollow and endless. But for once, I didn't turn back. I walked away, every step pulling me further from her, closer to something I hadn't felt in years: freedom. I stepped outside into the cool night air. The music from the hall bled faintly through the walls, but it sounded distant, like it belonged to another life. Daniel caught up with me near the steps. "You're leaving already?" "Yeah, I said softly. "I don't belong here anymore." He frowned. "That's not true." I looked at him. "You saw what happened. Your family has enough to deal with. My presence just makes it worse." He gripped my shoulder. "You're not the one who should feel ashamed." "Maybe not," I admitted, "but I'm tired of carrying shame that isn't mine." Daniel's jaw tightened. "You're still my brother, no matter what she did." I gave a faint smile. "Then let me go with that thought. Don't try to hold me here." He hesitated, then nodded. "If you need me, call. Please." "I will," I lied gently. I walked past him toward the parking lot. My footsteps echoed like the sound of chains breaking. Emily's voice called after me. "Saeed!" I froze but didn't turn. She ran closer, her sobs still fresh. Don't walk away like this. Not tonight. Tonight is the only night I can, I replied without facing her. Please, she begged. We can still fix this. I turned slowly. Fix? You think I can glue the pieces of my heart back together and pretend they're whole? She shook her head, tears streaking her face. I'll do anything. You already did everything, I said quietly. That's the problem. She grabbed at my sleeve. I love you. I looked at her hand. You loved the idea of me, not me. Her lip trembled. You're wrong. Then tell me why I filed for divorce months ago and... You didn't even notice. Her eyes widened. I didn't think you meant it. I laughed bitterly. That's what I was to you. A man who could be ignored even in leaving. She shook her head violently. Don't go. Don't leave me alone. You left me alone years ago. Her knees wobbled. You'll regret this. No, I said firmly. I'll regret staying. Her sobs filled the night, but I didn't move toward her. For once, I wasn't pulled back by her tears. Daniel's voice called from the doorway. Saeed, do you want me to... No, I interrupted. This is between her and the silence she created. Emily whispered, Please, don't let this be the end. I looked at her one last time. It ended the day you stopped seeing me. Tonight is just the burial. I walked away, her cries echoing behind me until they faded into the night. At the car, I sat behind the wheel, gripping it tightly. My chest was heavy, but for the first time, it wasn't suffocating. I whispered to myself, I'm free. Not happy, but free. The engine hummed to life. Headlights cut through the darkness. As I pulled onto the road, the silence inside the car felt different. Not lonely, not empty, just mine. The phone buzzed once in my pocket. I didn't check it. I knew it was her. I said aloud, Not anymore. The road stretched endlessly ahead, an open canvas. Pain could break me. Pain could forge me. I chose to be forged. I thought of all the nights lying awake, waiting for her to notice me. All the dinners where my words bounced off walls. All the times I whispered love to someone who no longer heard it. I let them go, one by one, like stones dropping into deep water. I whispered, No more invisible. The night air rushed through the window. My lips curved into something I hadn't felt in years. A smile. Small, fragile, but real. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew this. I would never let myself vanish again. Not for Emily, not for revenge, but for me. For the man who finally walked away.